right, welcome back. As you can see, our learning outcome for this video is to write numbers in scientific notation, long form notation. In this class, we're going to make countless measurements and calculations. So as we do so, it's going to be our job to report every single value that we write down with these three things. I want to include the value of our number, units so that that number has some context, and also a way to talk about the precision of that value. In this video, we're just going to talk about the value. So here we go. In order to conveniently express our very large or very small numbers that scientists use, we need to introduce this idea of scientific notation. Scientific notation makes it much easier to parse or understand our values. Scientific notation has a decimal part and an exponential part. The exponential part sets the size of our number. The decimal part sets the specific value at that size. The way we want to write our scientific notation numbers is by having our decimal part first. We need to have a single digit followed by the decimal place. In our example, we have the number 1, a decimal place, and then after the decimal place, we can have as many values as we need. The exponential part comes after. We're always going to have times 10 raised to some exponent. That exponent sets our value, sets our magnitude of our number. Negative exponents makes our number very small. Positive exponents makes our number very big. There is a calculator shortcut here. Some calculators have a capital E button or a capital EE button. That capital E can take the place of times 10 raised to an exponent. So our number down here in our example could be typed into the calculator as this. Sometimes the calculator has 2 E's, sometimes just 1. Experiment and see what yours does for you. Here's our strategy for converting numbers into and out of scientific notation. We want to shift our decimal place if you're going into scientific notation so that it fits that form where you have just one digit then the decimal place. The way we can do this is by counting how many times we shift our decimal place. So for example, this carbon atom radius, we need to shift our decimal place all the way over here, 11 spots. That way we can write our number as 7 decimal place. Once we shift our decimal place, we need to make sure that the number is still the same number. So we add our exponential part. And the exponent in our exponential part has to be exactly the number of decimal places that we moved. Moved 11 spots, so our exponent is 11. Now, again, we need to make sure that our number is the same number. This carbon atom is very, very small. So we want to make sure our number is still a very, very small number. With a positive exponent, our number is big, so we need to make our exponent negative. If we are trying to undo scientific notation, we need to do the opposite. We need to move our decimal place left or right, depending on the sign of that exponent. Again, make sure that the number is the same. If we're doing this Avogadro's number at the bottom, we have 23 as our exponent. That means we want to move our decimal place 23 spots. Since this exponent is positive, our number is very big. Let's make sure we keep our number very big. Let's move this decimal place all the way to the right, 23 spots. But we ran out of numbers here. We can just add zeros as placeholders. So I'll write this down at the bottom. It's going to be very inconvenient, which is why we use scientific notation, but we can do it if we need to. Which number would you rather look at and understand at a glance? Probably that scientific notation version. Other version is a pain to write and confusing to look. We have 2 more questions on this slide. Take a minute, pause the video, try to do those questions, convert into or out of scientific notation, and write down your answer. All right, there we have it. We've learned how to write numbers in scientific notation or long form notation and convert between. Well, there we go. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you all have a great day, and I will catch you next time.